Hi guys, welcome back to Older and Somewhat Wiser. You're here with me, YN.
And me, Simi.
Welcome back. So this episode is themed around our reflection theme this month in December. And it's a special episode because we want to check in with some of you guys and acknowledge that though Christmas and December is an amazing time for some of us, and it's a really happy time for some of us, but it can also be a tough time for a lot of people, as much as we love it, especially in these times, especially in 2020. And we want to take the time to acknowledge that some people can be going through hardship and not feeling the best during this time of the year in regards to, family, maybe health-wise, emotions, moods, and feelings, whatever you're dealing with, or even feeling lonely during this time. So we just kind of want to take the time to have a chat and include you guys as well. Just know that we are also here thinking of you guys, and as lovely as Christmas is and everything, we know that there's also people going through a tough time and hardship, and we want to be here to give you some encouragement and know that you are being thought of.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll start off with how 2020 has really put a damper on a lot of our plans, I guess we talked about in our reflection episode, and everything that happened can really trickle into this time of the year and has a snowball effect now, especially in terms of lockdown. So a lot of people may not be able to visit their loved ones and close ones during this time because perhaps you're living with a vulnerable person, or that you're far away and there are restrictions, government restrictions that keep you in your own hometown or in your own state or province. So that can make Christmas quite a difficult time for some people, especially when it's circled around spending time with loved ones and being together.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in terms of that, we really want to check in and ask you guys, how are you? Are you doing well?
Yeah. How are you really?
How are you really? How's life? Are you well?
Exactly. Think of this as a mental check-in. As in, it's very important to kind of check in with yourself, as Ryan mentioned already. As it gets down to this time of the year, it tends to be more of a reflection for a lot of people, and so the whole year can really pile on and feel extra heavy around this time, especially when you're surrounded by it's supposed to be a time surrounded by a lot of love and celebration and family, and we know a lot of people obviously lost a lot throughout this year, so maybe this is not doesn't feel like a time that you want to celebrate, or especially if you can't celebrate it with the people that you love. So it's just kind of like a mental check-in to be as difficult as it is, and it is incredibly difficult, we have the new year to look forward to, and it's so important to stay hopeful around this time and not give up on yourself, especially. So sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's a mental check-in, and it's also kind of a time to acknowledge, the reality of holiday blues, that it happens. And
exactly.
And that it's not just a 2020 thing, that it can happen any year, anytime,
exactly,
anywhere, just because of everybody's individual circumstance. I know, I'm really into K-pop, and I know that it's a really difficult time for expats because in the K-pop industry, a lot of people train. K-pop is Korean pop in the music industry. A lot of people go to Korea to train, and it's a really difficult time for them because during Christmas they still have to train, so they're still working and they can't go home because their home might be in America or might be in a different country. And so it can be a difficult time around this time of the year. So, and in terms of even if you're studying in a different country, if you're working in a different country and you can't go home, so we're just it's a very real thing, holiday blues, and not being able to be back home, or not being able to be where you want at a particular time of the year. So it's not just a 2020 thing, it's a very common thing, a very it's a holiday blues, it's anytime, anywhere, really. So we might start off with managing our expectations for Christmas, and how we deal with feeling the holiday blues.
Yes.
So in that case then, okay, so there are different types of pressures during Christmas time, I think. There's the financial stress of being able to buy gifts for your loved ones, for your children, to make them happy, and to decorate your house, deck it all out and all that, and buying decorations. Then there's also the stress of feeling lonely, because Christmas, I don't know, it's just been popularized and made into such a holiday that is kind of presented as where it's perfect, it's magical, nothing can ever go wrong, there's no worries, and all your troubles are not there and they're not present. But in reality, in life, there's always going to be ups and downs. Even momentarily, if you're happy, there's always things brewing at the back, and you have worries, you have concerns about situations, and there's always stuff at the back of your mind. So I feel like those two are kind of like the different types of stresses that people can feel during Christmas time and during holidays.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So maybe we can go into how popular culture has made Christmas kind of turn into a very always happy holiday, even though it is an amazing time and we love it, but we understand that it can be a hard time as well. And that's where we come in to want to talk about the reality of toxic family members.
Yeah, exactly. Because
toxic family members. Then we'll move on down towards. So do you wanna?
So because society does paint this perfect picture of Christmas. When we in our last episode, we do talk about our favorite things about Christmas, and how when you see Christmas, what your favorite Christmas movies, it has this portrayal of family and festivities, and a lot of people looking forward to going home, carving out time to be with their family. But the reality of the matter, that isn't the case for a lot of people. For a lot of people, some people don't have family to go to for Christmas, so they are all alone, and then they're seeing this image of family and that warmth and that home, and a lot of people don't have that home, or a lot of people do have that home, but it isn't as lovely. It isn't, in a sense, a healthy environment for them. So Christmas is a time where they're kind of dreading, where they have to go home and go and be in that environment with maybe family members, or unfortunately whatever situation they're in, where it isn't the most happy time. So as much as everyone always talks about the magical feeling you get around Christmas time, and how happy it is and how amazing it is to be with loved ones, it's so important to not forget about the people who don't have that environment to be in, where they are alone, or they don't come from a healthy, or a happy family that can celebrate that properly. So we wanted to do this to be you're not alone, and you're also not forgotten. We acknowledge how the struggle is for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
then even in the sense with people who are also homeless during this time of the year. Our heart breaks, and we hope that that they know that there is someone thinking of them, and people do actually care. So TV ads, we'll see them all the time, and everyone's happy, everyone's smiling, everyone's getting gifts, and everyone's winking at each other and being happy. But in reality, it can be quite sad for some people, because they don't have the home to go to, as you've said. And then this is where it's important to remember that these are all man-made. It's all of our beliefs and all of our man-made traditions,
Oh yeah.
You know, some parts of the world don't even celebrate Christmas. They're like, what's that? Like,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
don't care. And just know that it is like a holiday, and it's just any other day really. And yeah. And then on top of that, we know that, so one of them is like a toxic family, toxic friends, and you don't really want to see them because they put you down, or they, like, you don't feel good when you're around them. Other concerns could be like health. If you yourself are dealing with some health problems, like during this time, it might be just as difficult for you
Yeah, exactly.
this time as any other time. Or like if you have family members who are sick, you know, that's another concern, and that's also a hard time. If your mood yourself, you're just not feeling the best, you're feeling sad, or you know, you're not able to get help as well, that, you know, that can hamper everything as well.
Yeah.
And then in the sense of feeling lonely as well, because you don't have the environment to go to a party to go to, or your families to go to, like in the sense of like and then also in the sense of like if you're working as an expat,
Yeah.
you can't go home, and you know, you're studying abroad, you can't go home, and now you definitely can't leave countries, because if you say, like, if you go into another country, you might have to quarantine there for a few days, and then by the time you're finished quarantine, you have to come back to start a semester or whatever.
Yeah.
So we know that it can be a really difficult time during this time, but and we just want to say that it is okay to feel that way, and it's very important to let yourself go through the emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let yourself feel the sadness and the loneliness, but rest assured, you're like, a feeling is just a feeling. It doesn't define you.
Yeah.
If you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, it doesn't define who you are.
Exactly.
If you're feeling lonely, it doesn't mean you're lonely. It's a feeling.
Yeah,
Trust
exactly.
me. And it will go away.
Exactly what I was going to say. It is, remember that it isn't permanent. Like, those feelings or emotions, you will get through them.
Yeah, you will definitely get through them, and it's not, everything will always pass. Everything is never permanent. And then once the feeling goes away, like, it's gone. And yeah, like, even in the sense, if you feel lonely, you're not actually lonely. You have yourself, you have other people that are thinking of you, but they might not be able to reach out, or you may not know. So just know that everything is just a feeling, and always take care of yourself and put yourself first, and always love yourself and be kind to yourself.
Yes.
And treat yourself like you would to a friend. Put yourself in a third person position and speak to them with kindness and love and
exactly,
empathy.
Yeah, I think that needs to be said more, because we talk about that in terms of how we should treat other people. You know, treat others as you treat yourself, and but a lot of the times people don't actually even, the kindness that they show a lot of people, they don't show themselves. So I think more than anything around this time, what's the most important thing is to be kind to yourself and show yourself that love and care that you would show another person, because you deserve it just as much as anybody else does. And it's very important to remember that, like, you have you're worthy of being loved. You have a lot of value in this world, and you have a value in your life, and you should remember that as well.
Yeah, so do remember, make sure to check in with yourself. Always make sure to check in with yourself and be kind to yourself first and foremost.
Yes, exactly.
And then when you're good, you can give the world buckets of love and kindness.
Exactly.
You have it's abundant in you, so you're able to give more.
Exactly.
But, and if you're not kind to yourself, and you don't have enough in your own bucket, how are you going to give it to someone else?
Yeah.
You're going to make yourself feel even worse. So always make sure that your cup is full.
Exactly.
And then you can always give more to other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's just to check in with you guys, and acknowledging the hardness of this time of the year, and also to let you guys know that you are very much loved and thought of, and all feelings are fleeting and they will change over time.
Exactly.
And you never know where you're going to be in 5 years' time.
Exactly.
And all the hardship that you've gone through will bring you more courage and bravery, and all the hard work that you've gone through will bring you more success and new findings and opportunities in the future.
Precisely.
I want to touch on how what people can do during this time that are going through hardship. If you're feeling lonely,
Oh yes.
Depending on the regulations in your country and in your area, I think it would be nice to have a little party at yours, like a small party with your close contacts, and actually invite each other, because you may not know it, but other people are probably in the same boat as you. So never think that you're alone.
Yes.
There are some people who are in the same boat as you and would love to meet up or have a small party and spend the Christmas time together. So yeah, do definitely reach out. Or if you feel sad, do definitely reach out to helplines or your friends. Talk to them.
Exactly.
Even if it's via Zoom, text messages, do that.
Exactly.
So, don't ever think that you're alone, and we hope that you don't have to go through anything alone.
Exactly.
Really. So if you feel like you need help, definitely reach out to helplines.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you need someone to talk to, definitely reach out to your friends. I am 100% nearly sure that none of your friends will turn you away
Exactly.
when you want to talk. And if they do, then they're not your friends, and go somewhere else. Find better friends. But yeah, don't go through anything alone, and also reach out to some people. I'm sure there's people that are on the same boat as you, or even if they're not, they would love for a little party.
Yeah, just appreciate it. And again, even with it could literally just be a night of just inviting someone for hot chocolate and Christmas movies, something small, but just to show just that feeling of not being alone. So yeah, I mean, you're going to invite someone, and somebody is waiting for somebody else to make the first move or to check in, because I know it's a scary time, and we assume that people are with their family and friends, and we're the only one that's alone, but it's not that case for so many people. Absolutely. A lot of people don't really express what they're going through. So definitely don't be afraid to reach out.
And if meeting up physically is a problem, I was watching this YouTube vlogger the other day, and I thought it was such a cute idea. They went out for donuts, but and they parked in a car park and had socially distanced donut chat. So they were just
that's really
in the car
nice.
park and just chatting to each other in their own cars with their windows down. So I thought that was nice.
That's
so
really nice.
You could do that too. If you can't be in close contact, then you can still meet together in a car park. Just so dodgy, but yeah, something
make sure it's somebody that you know, as long as you know the person. Not just you go to a random car park and you're just knock on somebody's window. Do you want to do this chat?
Yeah, make sure it's someone that you know. Yeah, I thought that was a cute idea.
Yeah, that's actually a really cute idea. I really like that.
Yeah, and maybe do a little secret Santa thing just to make it feel a little bit special. I know that you can't do presents, but you could definitely send a letter to each other, do a secret Santa letter exchange.
Oh, that would actually be really nice.
That'd be so
cute. I love
cute.
that idea.
Yeah, that would be so cute. Post, I think, is €1 stamp in Ireland. I'm sure the what's that thing called? The national post system that you have would be fine as well. So yeah, do a letter exchange. Sometimes when you can't say something in person or face to face, it might be easier to write. Yeah, and you find that you have so much more. Yeah, you find that you have so much more to say, and you have so much more thoughts about something if you write, and you're taking the time. I think that's very special. So yeah, that's something that you can do as well if you're feeling a little bit lonely, a little bit down, a little bit sad or tired at this time of the year. Definitely. Or write a letter to yourself. Write an amazing, lovely letter to yourself and post it to yourself. I would absolutely do that.
That's actually such a good idea.
You need to love yourself. You need to treat yourself like a friend. If you yourself are feeling lonely, you need to treat your friend with more love and attention and care. And that's what you do. You send a letter to yourself,
I really like that idea, actually.
Yeah, and you don't have to buy a present if you don't want to. I think a letter is just as nice. The thought that someone took the time to write and think
of you.
And to do that for yourself, that I think that's cute and sweet. So now we kind of want to check in regards to how stressful can be I mean, how stressful can be Christmas? What English? How Christmas can be stressful. In terms of finance and like
it's expensive.
The expectation is so expensive.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's, everyone wants to go out there and you want to give like, such a special gift. I'm a person where I like, not so much, once in a while, of course, I buy things for myself, but like I love giving and I do love getting things for people. Well, so again, that can be a lot and overwhelming, especially when we have people who are going to debt because of it, people who don't have that money, but feel the pressure in order to give, because I feel like, as we said, it's become such a marketing ploy where Christmas is, where sometimes the true meaning of Christmas, well, depending for everybody who celebrates it isn't focused, where it's like more focused on like the material things and what you can give. But no, like it's okay, honey, like to like as long as you're doing something from the heart, you don't need to go if you have whatever, if it's your family or your friend or your significant other, as long as you're showing kind of love and care and you're being there, you don't have to buy the world or go out of the way, especially when you can't afford it. Like at the end of the day, Christmas is such a short time, and then we have the new year, and you still have the future to look forward to, and you don't want to go into like the new year in debt or in minuses because of Christmas. Christmas is a short time. That money you're spending there, it doesn't have to be.
It's all about thought. It's the thought that counts. Really is, honestly. So I agree with you in the sense that there's so much expectations for Christmas gifts. And the house to be all decked out and everything like that. And all that costs money. And keep in mind, there is a premium for Christmas products. Keep that in mind. And there's a reason why. And a lot of people go in debt because of someone, kind of putting on a nice Christmas ribbon on it, on a package. And you pay extra for that. So just remember that Christmas, though it's a lovely time and gifts are so amazing, and like everybody loves getting gifts, like it's a nice thing to do, and a nice thing to get. I love giving gifts, right? And I love receiving them. But just know that Christmas is not all about gifts. It's about being present, not actually about presents.
Precisely.
And I know some people, and I've heard of some people going into major debt just for Christmas. So then in January they're waiting for their pay, so then they could pay the credit card expenses from December. I know there's such a huge expectation, and especially in Ireland as well. I think there's a huge emphasis of buying gifts in Ireland.
Like I see people getting so stressed, like, oh, I have to really buy this gift, or like especially people in like whatever situations, or even in new relationships, like, oh, I have to buy a gift, or like it has to be this, it has to be that. There's too much like pressure and expectation that's put on it, it's
I feel like there's a huge kind of like form of hyper consumerism in Ireland and the UK. Like that's my personal, from what I see in the trend, and of course in America, yes, of course, but during, I think it spikes up even more during Christmas time in Ireland and the UK. Like everyone's like, oh, gifts, and we can see like moms and like people being really stressed over buying presents. And like in Smith's, I believe that there was a huge queue.
Oh my goodness,
like there's so much stress and money and effort put into it, which is lovely, but is it worth all the stress? Is Christmas really about buying all these lavish gifts and paying that Christmas premium? I mean, that's up to you to decide, but I think if you don't have the money to do that, and if you don't have the luxury to be able to do that, I don't think it's the most important thing about Christmas.
No.
The most important thing during these holidays, I think, would be kind of like being able to spend time with yourself, with your loved ones, and being able to reset and having a good time together. And having a good time together can consist of you guys watching a movie together, having a nice food, dinner together, snacks together, reminiscing, chatting, just playing music, like playing board games.
Basically, it's quality time. It's all about quality time more than anything else.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned before, that's either with family and friends or even with yourself, you know?
Yeah. And then like, yeah, so in terms of that, like I feel like we can like kind of bring down the financial stress that we put
on ourselves
this year. And then also some people, like I mentioned in the last episode, that I'm always the person that's like, oh, we need to decorate, oh, we need this and we need that and we need to get it all together. Yeah, so I'm that person that's like, for like holidays, I like to decorate, I like festivity, I like to make it nice for everyone, but sometimes people don't cooperate. And I have to be like, no, we have to do this, we have to do that. And then you know, after the holiday each year, I'm always thinking to myself, why did I put myself through all that stress? Like, it does not have to be perfect, but why did I feel the need to be like nitpicking everything and want everything to be perfect? And yeah, so I'm trying to grow from that as well. It's like that, like what's perfect to me doesn't mean it's perfect for everyone else. Like what's probably mediocre to me is probably fine for everyone, and it's to not be so nitpicky. As long as we have time together and we're able to have a good time, like chatting and like chilling with each other, that's completely fine. So this is kind of for myself as well, to like really focus on just, you know, like being able to spend time with each other and not on the actual like nitpicking things. I need to buy this, I need to have this, I need to, like, the food needs to be like this.
Exactly, because people really stress themselves out during this time of year. Like a lot, have full-on breakdowns, because it's just like they're just taking on too much that it doesn't need to be, or trying to make things like, you know, super perfect. But I think again, that's kind of the season where you're just like, it makes me feel it's very much aesthetic, you know. It has to, we need to fit into this aesthetic, and it needs to look a certain way, and everything needs to be placed in the perfect, like, you know, that's the I think that's the thing that surrounds it, why people like end up pushing themselves and then getting so stressed, you know.
And like, and then you were saying before that like during this time our emotions get so heightened that we feel like it needs to be like this, or we're not going to have a nice time, it's going to be ruined, Christmas is going to be ruined. But really, they'll have a nice time when you're not acting like so mad. Chill, Wyan, chill. Just managing your expectations of Christmas, managing your expectations of presents, managing your expectations of organizing the most perfect Christmas or your family gathering ever. It's important to know that this time is all about, as much as it's about giving to others, about giving to yourself as well. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, and then one more thing, if you are planning to shop anyway, regardless, and you have the moolah to splash about, get some local stuff, buy local stuff. Shop local. Shop local, and like keep the economies like circling. What am I trying to say? Keep the money circling around in the economy, and then help everyone out in the actual community. So I think it'd be good to shop local. Yes. And you'll find like amazing artisan gifts that people in your neighborhood makes that you had no idea. So try to shop local instead of going all the way to Amazon, ASOS and all that. Shop local, guys. Yeah, Jeff Bezos doesn't need any more of your money. No, he really doesn't. He really doesn't. I say that, and then I'm on Amazon like 24/7, just like, Merry Christmas, I'm helping your family out. So that's all, guys. Or like, even if you are not shopping from Amazon, you can shop from the actual website. So there we go. Okay, guys, I think this is all for this episode. Yeah, we just wanted it to be short and sweet, and a nice way to kind of like end it, and just like acknowledge. I think it's so important to it, like, because everybody's all about celebrating and having a great time, and then
but forgetting about the people who this isn't a great time for them. So I feel like this episode was kind of more for them than anyone. So I saw this thing online that I thought was really good, and is a way to check in with yourself. And there was a lot, but there's some of them that I liked the most, which was like just questions that you should ask yourself on days where you're feeling a little bit like out of sorts, where you're just like literally just talk to yourself. It's like, how am I feeling? What do I need? What is working? What is not working? You know, what can I celebrate and what can I let go of? And I thought these are really nice prompts to kind of ask yourself. And I feel like it's because sometimes it's kind of be hard to kind of pinpoint like what. Sometimes, you know, sometimes there isn't a specific reason. It's very hard. It can be hard to pinpoint the reason why you're feeling out of sorts or blues or unhappy or a little bit depressed. So I feel like these are nice prompts to have just to kind of remind yourself every day and ask yourself the question how you're feeling today. Just like we encourage people to check in with their family and friends during this time for that specific reason. Make sure you're doing the same thing to yourself, like literally checking in with yourself. Ask yourself these questions like, how are you feeling? Like, you know, what do you need? So I definitely think that's so important. I want you to know, and we also want you to know how, like, you know, again, you know, like, even though we're coming to the end now, you know, it's important to stay hopeful, you know, like there's so many
there's
amazing
miles of roads ahead.
Miles of roads ahead.
We still have plenty to go.
You still have plenty to go. Like, again, everything you take in life, you know, we need to, what did we say in our last episode? Whereas, you know, like when one door closes, another opens, we need to trust in the process. And again, as sad and as difficult as it can be, it really is just a journey. And we need to trust that we will get to the finish line and get to where we want to go. And we can look back and, you know, if you give up on yourself now, you're not going to be able to see the amazing things that are ahead of you. So like, just keep going and be hopeful for the next year. We like, everything is uncertain and we don't know. But the one thing we have control of is what we are hopeful, you know, and look for, and we can dream and we can wish and we can manifest. So I think be hopeful for 2021 and trust that, you know, things will work out and you'll get to where you want to be in life, you know. And if you're sad now, trust that you'll be happier tomorrow.
And we believe in you.
We believe in you. There's always another day. So, you know, we wish you... Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Simi, one more time, can you give those prompts again?
Okay.
So what's the first question?
How am I feeling?
Okay.
Second question is, what do I need? Third is, what is not working? The fourth is, what is working? The fifth is, what can I celebrate? And the final one is, what can I let go of? Which I really like, because I definitely think we hold on to a lot of things. And this year has been a crazy year. And what's the one thing I know for us that we want going forward is, I think it's taught us a lot of things that that you keep, that I feel like, in a sense, for me specifically, it weighs my spirit down and it just weighs you down. And these are things you just don't need, whether it's like situations or whether it's people. Some things it's okay to let go of and trust that, you know, like, you don't need things weighing you down, especially for the new year. So assess what it is that is making you so unhappy. What is this that's putting you down? And say, look, it's okay to let go of it with just love, you know, so you can move forward and be a better version and live the best possible life for yourself, because you deserve it.
Yeah, definitely. I think those were such nice prompts. I really especially love what you said about letting go of certain things, because sometimes we just don't know that we're actually harboring or holding on to things that don't matter anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And it follows us, and as they say, you need to what's out with the old and in with the new,
you know.
Yeah,
they didn't just say that, you know. We need to actually really follow that. So do that for yourself, you know. Assess what you can let go of, you know. As hard as this year has been, see what it is did you learn from this year. What were you going to take forwards to try and make the next year's the best version for yourself? What have you learned that you can take with you, that you can do things differently, that will help you to grow, that will help you to manage the emotions you're going through, because we don't all handle that very well.
And also at the same time, I want to add as well that it's okay to not want to manage your emotion at that particular time.
Oh yes.
It's completely fine. And just remember that there is going to be a point, like, you can take a break. There's going to be a point where you can start to manage your emotions again, and after a break.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And that it will get better for you, and we believe in you, and we wish you the best of luck. Also, in our description of this episode, we're going to add a lot of helplines if you need them. We're also going to write down the prompts for you as well.
Exactly.
So then you could take the time to write them down on your notebook or on a piece of paper and answer those questions for yourself. And, you know, like a nice 15-minute to 30-minute activity for yourself, just to get to know yourself better, and also to check in with yourself, which is the most important thing. You know, like when you check in with yourself, trust me, you'll be able to see kind of like a pattern of what you think you're hurting or what you're missing, and then you realize, do they really matter at the end of the day? So we're going to leave them in the description for you, and we hope that you will do them and enjoy them. So for this year, as Simi said, it's kind of this episode, we are just we want to acknowledge the hardship that people can experience during this time, the reality of holiday blues, the financial stress of Christmas, the emotional stress, the physical stress. We know that it's very real and it's very present any time of the year, and we want you to know that we believe in you, and that we are hopeful for you guys, and that you're always thought of and cared for and loved. So
exactly.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you have a lovely evening, night, and day.
Yes.
Morning. And we'll catch you on season 2.
Yes. So actually, before we go, we want to wish you guys just a lovely Christmas, and we want to wish you guys a safe journey into the new year. And also, this is our last episode of season 1. And this has been an incredible first season and an incredible journey. Like, we're very excited for what 2021 has in store for us. So we will be seeing you guys in the new year. January 2021 is where you're going to hear our voices again. So we hope you guys stick around, and we wish you all the best. And we'll see you guys soon. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Have a happy Christmas and an amazing New Year, guys.
Bye.
Bye.